friends, today let's talk about something that might seem simple at first glance, but it's actually full of fascinating stories. Soil, and not just any soil. We're going to take a virtual trip to one of the most unique and stunning islands in Indonesia, Sumba Island in East Nusa Tenggara. If you've ever seen pictures of vast savannas, rolling hills, and wild horse running free, that's Sumba. But beyond the breathtaking views, Sumba has some pretty interesting soil stories that can help us understand how deeply the land affects everyday life. Let's start with a little context. Sumba has a dry climate very different from Java or Sumatra, which are wetter and more fertile. Rainfall in Sumba is relatively low, so much of the island experiences long dry seasons. And guess what? This climate plays a huge role in the kinds of soils that develop there. The main types of soil found on Sumba are Mediterranean soil, lithosols, and grusols. Let's break them down. First up, Mediterranean soil. This soil comes from weathered limestone and other sedimentary rock rich in calcium. In Sumba, this type of soil covers many of the hilly regions. It has a reddish-brown color, neutral to slightly alkaline pH, and it's relatively rich in nutrients. Sounds great, right? Well, not so fast. It tends to be hard and compact when dry, which makes farming a bit tricky. Still, farmers make the most of it, growing crops like corn, peanuts, and other drought-resistant plants. Next is litosol, young soil that has gone through much weathering. That means it still contains a lot of rocks and gravel, and its structure isn't well developed. You'll find this soil on steep slopes and rocky hills across Sumba. It's not ideal for farming, too shallow, too stony, but people in Sumba use it cleverly, often as grazing land for livestock like horses and cattle. And now let's talk about Grumusol. This one's pretty unique. Grumusol is dark, clay rich, so that swell when it's wet and cracks when it's dry. Picture it. Hook fishers on the ground during the dry season. It's wet. The soil can actually be very fertile, but it needs proper care and management. It's commonly used to grow rice, especially rain-fed rice, and other dry season crops like maize. You'll find the soil in the central and northern part of Sumba. So, how does this soil diversity shape the lives of Sumba's people? In so many ways. Because the land is challenging, dry, rocky, and hard to tell, local communities have adapted their farming practice to suit the land. They grow that they can when they can. And there experts at making the most of what nature gives them. That's traditional wisdom in action. Even their architecture is influenced by the soil. Take Sumba's traditional tall or roofed house, known as Batang. These homes are built using local material that fit the dry, rocky conditions. The floors are often made of compacted earth, yes, soil again, and carry symbolic meaning in their culture. If you're planning to create YouTube content about soil, Sumba Island gave you a great blend of education, culture, and visual storytelling. Imagine combining drone shots of red soil and green savannas with stories of how people live in harmony with such challenging terrain. You can make soil fascinating not just as something beneath our feet, but as a living, breathing part of the ecosystem and the culture. And here's bonus. Sumba is gaining popularity as a tourist destination, so people searching for travel content might also stumble up on your video and end up learning something new about the land itself, not just the beach or waterfall. So what do you think? Cool, right? Soil isn't boring. It's a hidden story waiting to be uncovered. Let's bring more attention to Indonesia's land and all the wisdom that grow from it, starting with Sumba. Thank you very much.